Okay. Hey guys, so I have Lucas Murphy in the house here. Lucas has his own YouTube channel. I'm going to let Lucas introduce himself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Lucas Murphy. I do have a stock channel, very similar to what Nora does. It's absolutely awesome. But it's actually called Lucas Murphy Stocks, Investments, and Entertainment. I think you can see it in that ticker running on the bottom. We cover a lot of the same stuff. I know Nora has blown past me when it comes to everything she's covering, but I try to stick with drones. Excuse me. Yeah, I try to stick with drones. And I try to cover Humble a lot, Ag Eagle for sure, ALPP. I'm really kind of how I got to that, honestly, was I just decided to start talking about Ag Eagle one day. It was a local company to me, and I started just diving into drones, and it took over from there. I mean, there's so many companies out there that are making moves in that, so I do that a lot. I throw in some curveballs every once in a while, but that's kind of my genre for sure, is those right there. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. I started a second channel recently too called the Beat of KC. I know this is stock driven, so we'll stick with that for sure. But the Beat of KC is sports related. I do talk a lot of Kansas City because that's where I'm from. But yeah, I do talk a lot of sports on that channel for sure. So just I love doing YouTube, love conversing with people, and definitely how I met Nora. So this is awesome.
So when I started, I did my own research into some stocks I might be interested in. I take agricultural technology in college, so of course I did a search for agricultural stocks to invest in, and that is how I stumbled across Ag Eagle, and I really liked the company. It was fascinating. The more I read about it, they have updated their website and so many changes since then. And of course, I did some research on YouTube to see, is there someone covering it? And that is how I found Lucas Murphy covering Ag Eagle way, way, way before anybody was really talking about Ag Eagle. There was truly, really no one speaking about it except for Lucas. And so I think I left him a comment, and then, he started to become a supporter of my channel. We started to collaborate and talk about the drone stocks, and I got even more interested in drone stocks. So I wanted to ask you, Lucas, what drone stock is your largest position right now?
It's definitely Ag Eagle. It was like my largest for sure. More recently, probably about a month ago, I did trim. And ALPP is very close to being a second place right now. But Ag Eagle is still the number one drone position for sure.
If you could just kind of tell us a little bit of the updates for Ag Eagle and what it's gone through in the past year and why you're so bullish on Ag Eagle.
For sure. So honestly, there's been a lot of kind of changes that were, in my eyes, kind of unanticipated in some aspects. But they've been kind of heavy on going and doing acquisitions this year. So they did early on. They go out and get MicaSense very early on in the year, and then they follow that up with Measure. That's been more recent of an acquisition. And that's where everything kind of started to unfold from a very positive standpoint. In that time span as well, they've really added to, because this was a very infant company, even, before this year, they didn't have a ton of employees. They just recently moved to Wichita, to their full facility in Wichita, which is really close to Jabbar Airport there in Wichita, the air capital of the world. So it really, it started to just become something. And I think that's what most people kind of tend to forget with a lot of these companies, is this is still a very baby company. Like they're acquiring companies to build onto what they have. So they did go out and get, like I said, they got MicaSense, which is by far one of the best sensors in the field, if not the best. Infrared, you're talking about a camera system that's really driven for agriculture, which is what Ag Eagle was founded and driven upon. And they're still very involved with. But then you dive into what Measure brings and provides, and that's the software as a solution. Ag Eagle is truly trying to become the one-stop shop, and they really are developing that now with all these acquisitions. I think what's also unique is they recently moved on from their CEO who helped build the company up from really kind of a foundation. Before that was kind of one of the originators. He was also the CEO, decided to take a board position. Michael Droz stepped in and got it to where it is now. In the acquisition of getting MicaSense, they get Brandon Torres Declet. They decide to make him a CFO for a week, and then he becomes the CEO immediately the week later. And the guy has a just tremendous background in drones, but also just aerospace in general, both public and private. And he's easily by far probably the best person for that position in moving this company forward. He is on a committee that is writing the playbook and the blueprint for how drones are going to interact and engage in the airspace of the FAA. So really a lot going on for this company in just a year's time. And I'm really excited because we're not even fully through this year, and that's what's incredible. There's still a lot of more of this year to finish out, and just to see what they're capable of doing. And Brandon has only been in his position for a few weeks, so they have a ton of money, still cash on hand, and they're gonna be doing some things. So yeah, tons and tons of positivity, and that's really why I'm bullish for Ag Eagle. Obviously, they have the non-disclosure agreement in place, major e-commerce. I put a video out today about Drone Up. Drone Up actually is a private company. They're not publicly traded, but it just shows you the significance of what companies are doing in the drone sector because they developed a good strategic partnership with Walmart. They do really well, and now Walmart invested into them. So that just shows you right there just a little glimpse of what can happen in the drone sector. So tons and tons of stuff happening.
So as you know, there's speculation as to who Ag Eagle is partnering with, and they cannot say. This definitely takes Walmart off of the list, which sort of brings some other companies back higher on the list. Of course, we can't really speak about it, but we all know who we think their partnership might be with. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll go ahead and say it. I do believe that it's Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been.
We can speculate, right?
Yeah, I've been pretty open about it now, just because even after the Walmart announcement, I think that would have been my close second.
Right.
And that really was like the one that I thought maybe could have thrown a curveball at us and been like sneaking in behind the scenes and doing something with the Ag Eagle, because I would start thinking too that agriculture aspect could be pretty significant to a Walmart. But I'm just too convinced. I mean, you got MicaSense, who is 6 minutes to 8 minutes away from the world headquarters of Amazon there in Seattle.
Right.
Ag Eagle's headquarters is 15 to 20 minutes away from two major facilities that are over 1 million square feet that belong to Amazon. They're in Wichita. I do think that there's some other ties. We've seen just a massive stretch of due diligence done by so many people that have tied Jeff Bezos, going and watching an Ag Eagle test. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've seen where it too many dots are, when you were a kid, you remember when you were a kid and you had to do the connect the dots, whether there's the numbers or the letters, and it created a picture. I feel like our picture is basically full now, and I think we know that the logo is the Amazon logo.
That would be amazing. That would be fantastic. And it would be well worth the wait, well worth all of this time that we've been loyal to Ag Eagle and just building up shares. And I am looking forward to building that position up. I got in kind of on the high end in January when I started my new account challenge, which is something I do an update on every week. And my average is in the $9 range. And of course, it dropped well below that. All the small cap, high growth stocks got crushed earlier this year, but it is starting to come up, and I am looking forward to adding on to that position for Ag Eagle because I think great things are coming. I definitely want to be in at these great prices. It was under $5. It closed under $5 today, which is crazy. That's an amazing deal for it. I wanted to talk about your investing style and
Mhm.
about your mentor that got you into investing and how you go forward deciding what stocks that you feel as though you want to invest in. I notice you have not gotten into the AMC craze. You have decided to stay away from that and just speak on what you've learned from your mentor and how you've built your portfolio.
For sure. Well, I leave the AMC to you, Nora, because you cover it pretty well. But
Okay, thanks.
yeah. So honestly, I wasn't investing probably the way I should, like most people don't. It's just something you, when you're younger in age, you don't take it as seriously. And I saw the paychecks when I was making them, and as a kid, I was like, I can get some new shoes, I can get some new clothes, I can get video games, I can do all this. And honestly, I could have been investing. So
Right.
as I got older and got a more consistent job, which is where I'm at now, um, when you first come into this job, there's a gentleman that has worked there for I would say almost 20 years, I believe. And any new hire we get, which is very rare, he walks them through because he's like one of the people that train, and he
Mhm.
just gives you his spiel on, if you invest this much percentage out of your paycheck each week or each time we get paid, this is how much, and he breaks it down from an Excel spreadsheet how much you would have based on that percentage of return rates. And when you see the numbers, and you typically the return rate that he puts in there is 8 to 10. There's times where you can adjust that,
Right.
but when I started getting hooked because that when you see those numbers, you're like, man, this can happen. Obviously, there's influx, but when it's at an 8 to 10, I got pretty hungry about it, and I just started attacking it, and that's really what. And then
Nice.
it helped that my one of my good friends came over from our previous job, started in, and he had been doing an investing well before that, came in and brought the same attitude. So
Nice.
dove into that, and immediately started just really just got hooked. And when I got hooked with that, that's also what drove me to start this channel, was just because I wanted to kind of get on board, and early on I would claim immediately that I was not an expert by no
Right.
means, but I wanted to kind of create a community and get along with people that were kind of going through the same experiences that I was. So yeah, I just started watching YouTube video, learning as much as I could. And that's how I've really kind of developed to where I'm at now. Yeah, I think it's definitely helped. I'm still learning. I would admit that anyways, because you're always learning, but I'm still learning a lot in this, whole entire investing thing. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been a great journey up to this point for sure.
It's definitely something that you put a lot of work in, and you never stop learning about it. If you want to talk about what your favorite stock is outside of the drone stocks, what is your favorite stock?
Right now, I
I think
definitely
I
want.
know what it is.
I want to say humble,
Yeah.
immediately. But there's a few others that, if I, not necessarily a close, but yeah, I'm just gonna go humble because I would be lying probably if I told you something else. I'm just, if I'm not,
We know.
as of right now, yeah, if I'm not doing a drones video on my channel, it's immediately a humble video, and that's, and the reason is just because they put out so much positive catalyst, and they constantly are putting stuff in the news that it's easy to cover that, but it's also a very gravitational stock because of the community, and that's kind of something, you don't. They always tell you don't put emotions into stocks. They tell you not to really, but I think we're in like a new age, and when you see people that are genuine people, and you guys are all in it together, I think there's something about that where like you can relate to people, and I know you and I've talked about stocks like that in that way, and it's like you build relationships, and you're going through the same thing. Like if the stock is
Right.
down, you guys are all a team, and it's like you're enduring it together. If the stock's going up, you guys are popping bottles and you're celebrating together. So I think that
Absolutely.
I think that's what's pretty cool about it, and that's probably why I gravitate to humble and say it's definitely one of my favorites, just because the community, but also what its capabilities are going to be in the future.
I am very, very tempted to add it to the new account challenge because it is at such fantastic prices. I did make money when it was TSNP, and I
Yep.
sold it at basically at the top. I sold it at a really great time, so I made money. Um, and now I kind of miss being in it because I see all the excitement that you have. I love the collaboration you did with TC from
Yeah.
Burner Market Trading. Shout out to him. And yeah, I definitely see great things coming for this company. So I definitely would like to get into it very soon. And these prices are really out of
Yep.
this world. I mean, it's under $2 right now. The potential this stock has is pretty fantastic. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your second channel. You're doing the B to KC. You are a big sports fan, and I know
Yeah.
you love to talk about sports.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it, Nora. I really do. And yeah, I'll be honest. I've been pretty open about it. The stock stuff really kind of got dry there for a little bit. And
Yeah,
I honestly had the same mentality for that channel as I did when I started the stock channel.
right.
I saw everything from oil to airlines to, I mean, the list goes on and on. When I first started my channel back in April of, was it 2019?
Oh,
Um,
well, okay.
2020 maybe. It was April, whatever. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now. Um,
Okay.
but that's when everything of that nature was just popping, and it was just really kind of a fun time to talk about all that stuff. And that's kind of the same thing that happened on this side. Sports are something I always have a passion for. But how I developed a name and created, I really thought about it for a while. The beat of KC. So a beat writer covers a specific um, subject matter, and in a lot of the cases, a beat writer writes for sports. So that's kind of the idea of the beat of KC. So I'm writing in a way, doing a video covering Kansas City and sports, but it also kind of has a little bit more meaning because we're known for jazz in Kansas City, and we have the
Right.
Jazz Museum right next to the Negro Leagues Museum. So that also kind of represents the beat of KC, as in the beat of the music and things like that. So it's very significant. It has a big kind of meaning to me, and then what people in Kansas City represent. But cover Chiefs, cover Royals, cover Kansas, the Jayhawks. But also I'm gonna kind of branch out a little bit and talk other sports as well. But I tell you, it's tough running two channels. I would
Yes.
definitely tell anyone who's thinking about doing it, really to kind of assess it before you do it, because I jumped into it and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work,
Yes.
and but it's refreshing too to kind of go back to where it's almost like you're starting from scratch, and it really
Right.
does create that hunger again. And it's done that for my stock channel as well. Like, like I just did my live stream, and obviously you're a part of it. And
Right.
I was saying that I was up to like 4:45 in the morning creating videos, doing interviews, and it really just kind of created a rejuvenation of what I was trying to accomplish again. So
Yes. You've been quite successful. Your channel is monetized, and I could see the B2KC getting to that level and beyond because I see so much passion in your conversations and your collaborations. I mean, you can just tell, and
yeah, thank you.
all the experience that you've gotten through the stock channel is definitely moving over into the B2KC, and it's just a great thing. It was well worth it, and all the connections you're making with the guys out there. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one thing I do have to give credit to the stock channel, because I can't honestly remember how many CEO interviews for drones and just businesses in general on the stock channel. And I think going into interviewing just people in general in the sports field, because some of the people I've talked to already on that channel have a pretty significant role in writing for Kansas City, and some of them are even other sports in others. I guess they're writing for other sports teams in other sports too as well.
Right.
So being able to talk to CEOs and then talk to them, it really does help, because
Mhm.
like when you're doing a CEO interview, a lot of the time the secretary will want you to send over the information beforehand. They want to know
Right.
what questions you're going to ask, especially if they're a publicly traded company. In this case, it's kind of like a freestyle. Like,
Nice.
you see how the conversations flow. You get to ask the questions, and that's really the how the stream develops, and that's what's so much fun. So
Yeah, it's been cool to watch how this is playing out, and it's doing well. I see good things coming for it.
Thank you.
So I pretty much asked you all the questions that I wanted to ask and get everybody caught up, guys. If you're not subscribed, check his channel out. Absolutely, check it out.
For
He's
sure.
got some great stock videos. He's covered a wide variety of stocks, not just the drone stocks. He is known as the Drone King because he does focus on the drone stocks, and that you are definitely the Drone King. And
That's
you've done some great interviews.
yeah.
Guys, definitely check out those interviews he's done.
Yeah.
The interview with the Valkyrie CEO. I mean, a lot of really cool things where you can kind of connect the dots and see where the potential of these companies are. There's definitely a lot of money that's going to be made with the drone stocks and the drone age.
For sure.
We are beginning the drone age, and it's pretty exciting to see that and be a part of it.
For sure. Yeah, that's something that's exciting is the drones. It was kind of stale there for a while, but that's something I always just wanted to stick to because I do see the vision for it, and that's why I think I can't remember, honestly. I should have remembered or wrote it down or something who actually gave me the nickname the Drone King, but yeah, it's humbling, but it's also kind of cool. Like when someone said it, I was like, I would like to run with that. Like that's really cool.
You
So
did run with it.
for sure. So yeah, I stuck with it, and yeah, a lot of people I mean, it definitely spread. A lot of people call me that, and
He's even got his own T-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the OG. The OG. He's got. I think that's an original that you're wearing, isn't
Yep.
it? You had that made.
Yeah.
Sort of as the inspiration for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And these are super comfy. So if you go to his channel, there's a link to the Lucas Murphy store. You can get yourself some OG swag.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be making some more. I'm going to get back on there and start making
some more designs. Yeah.
That and for the other channel, I got to get something for the other channel on there. So
I'll get one of those too.
Awesome.
Gotta represent the beat of KC, guys.
Yep.
All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks so much, Lucas, for taking your time on a Saturday night to chat with me. I really appreciate you, man.
Well, I thank you, Nora. I mean, I really want you to be super successful. I want to see your channel get to where it needs to get to. I mean, I always said that I'm nobody. I'm just like any other person, and I want to see people successful too. And I know you definitely want to get there. So any chance I can to help anybody out, get to monetization, or just do a video like this, I'm more than happy to. So thank you for having me on. It means a ton, and definitely subscribe to her channel, guys, and comment down below. It helps out with the algorithm. Smash that like button. You guys know the routine. So do all that for Nora for sure.
Thanks, Lucas, and we'll be talking soon, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.